So next we're moving on to a major piece of the puzzle of how to decrease and remove wild-caught ingredients from feed. We're going to hear from Vidar Gundersen, the Global Sustainability Director at BioMar, which is an innovative company within the aquafeed industry, one of the major world producers. Vidar joined BioMar in 2002 with responsibilities spanning from product management to feed concept and strategy development. He specialized in sustainability in the aquaculture sector and has designed and built BioMar's sustainability concept. Vidar will be giving a historic perspective on fish meal, fish oil usage over time, specifically in salmon, and what he thinks is possible for the future. He will also comment on how he has benefited from the F3 meeting, which we appreciate, and how participants can make the most of their time here. So Vidar, please.
So thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here. I want to give you now some context to the industry and how it has evolved and developed over the years. I think it's important that we all know the history, also try to learn from it, so we can have a more bright and sustainable future, hopefully. My presentation is basically this one slide. I'm going to take you through the start of the modern aquaculture, or the fast growing, when it really started in 1990. And I'm going to use salmon in Norway as an example. Over this time, you can see that back in 1990, about 80% of the fish feed was marine-based. So it was fish meal and fish oil and some wheat to bind it all together. And you can see that today, this has flipped around. We use about, at max, I would say 20% marine ingredients, and the rest is alternatives. It's mostly vegetable raw materials, but it has become more complex. The raw material basket has become wider, and hopefully it can become even bigger. I would say that there have been, if you can call it revolutions, there have been like 3 revolutions in this journey. And the first one was already in the early 90s, where we can see that soy protein came in. And at that time, soy protein was seen as the big fish meal replacer. And it was looked at as a fantastic raw material. And it would mean a lot, and it would mean that the industry could really grow. And you can also see by the end of the 90s, as you could see on the previous presentations here, there was this huge El Nino, 97, 98. And this is where we started to use alternative oils, vegetable oils, soy oil to begin with, quickly replaced by rapeseed oil. And from there you can see there's a steep decline in the use of marine ingredients as the industry has grown tremendously. The third revolution, I would say, that we are in right now. This is where we see the start and the uptake of alternative ingredients, mostly what I call the single-cell raw materials, and also some of the POPs. POPs are processed animal proteins, and that could be land animal products, but also insects. And this huge amount here is mainly insects. Very, very interesting. I think we can call them like more, there's a need for more animal-like proteins. We can't rely only on soy, plant-based proteins. I would put insects in between fish meal and soy. There's belong, and it has bright future, I think, if done right. You can also see that back in the early 90s here, there's also used paps a lot. And here it was blood meal, great raw material, land animal products. But then we had the mad cow disease. And the retailers, they pulled out. We don't want that. And since this example is in Norway and North Europe, we also have, there's no consumer acceptance for GM material. This might change. There's a change coming, but legislation is opening up. So it's the retailers that are the one controlling this. They are the one deciding that we don't want GMs, we don't want labs, but there's a change coming. What I see now as the future, I would see that, yeah, in the coming years, it will still be plant-based, mostly the diets for salmon, but we can see that more and more single-cell raw materials that have been yeast, microalgae, proteins, fermented, and insects coming in. That will be the big change I see and I hope will come. There will always be some marine ingredients, but we do not want to rely on those, and we are not relying on them anymore. They are not critical to us anymore. Fish oil, yes, a little bit. Fish meal, not so much. Krill, you can see it's just a little bit here. We can grow the salmon without them. We have alternatives for oil coming. We need more, of course, and I hope that this community here could help to innovate more and to have new startups coming up, providing more ingredients in this field. But also we know that there are some benefits to with coming with the fish meal and krill that we haven't fully solved yet, but it's possible. We are about to do it. If we clean this up a little bit more, we can see some other trends here. Circular and restorative use, ingredient use is going up, and that's a good thing. We want to use more byproducts. We want to use more regenerative commodities. We also have set ambitions in BioMar to promote that. So hopefully we'll see much more use of those in the future. Fish in, fish out, or the forage fish dependency ratio is going down, and we want it to continue to go down. We do not want to rely on those kind of raw materials. So that's an also important indicator, a kind of sustainability indicator for us. And then, of course, we have the carbon footprint, which everyone is concerned about. The interesting thing is that you can see that the carbon footprint was much lower in 1990 than it is now. And that's because fish meal and fish oil have a very low carbon footprint. And then we have customers, farmers saying that, well, why don't we go back to that? And we have solved everything. That would be easy, but we can't because there are no much more fish oil and fish meal available. So we need alternatives. So we need to drive down this carbon footprint without using more of those marine raw materials. And we are doing that. From these trend lines, we have created some indicators or parameters, if you like. We call them the BioSustain impact parameters. BioSustain is our sustainability concept and program. And we designed this to help, not ourselves just to reach our ambitions, but also our customers on what we call this blue journey to improve on all these indicators. So hopefully that will be a win-win and can stimulate all of us to do better. Last slide, I just want to put up there to highlight why we are here and why we want to foster this innovation. We have been actively involved in the F3 meeting since its inception, and there's always been constructive and fruitful discussions. And I find the F3 forum to be valuable, a valuable platform for sharing knowledge, experience, and best practices in the field of novel and alternative raw materials. And as I said, to foster innovation and collaboration among key players in the aquaculture industry. I also want to highlight the importance of educating each other here, to really help us understand what are we dealing with and how can we do better. So we are glad to be a part of the F3 community and to contribute to its vision and creating a more sustainable and resilient aquaculture sector. And I hope that I could provide some history and some context to what we're doing here. So yeah, thank you.